What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, our beautiful Toyota GT86. I say beautiful, I'm using that word very liberally there. It is definitely not looking very beautiful at the moment. This is my own variant. It is the VM edition, and obviously this mod is the ZN6FA20D, which is the Toyota GT86, the Subaru BRZ, or the Scion FRS, I believe. Not quite 100% on that one. This is what we're going for our competition entry for this one today. There is a lot of things to go over to cover about this one. One of the most obvious is the fact of that engine. Yes, I have swapped mine to a rotary engine because, well, why not? You can also see that I've sort of lowered it quite a lot. It's quite not got a lot of clearance on there. Couldn't get my words out there. And quite big wheels on it as well. One of the other little things I have done is there is an actual bench seat in the back of mine. It's sort of double affected with the seat belts there. And the reason for that is some of the suspension pokes through and I needed to hide it. And the only way I could do that was with a seat. I will show you it a little bit later on, but let's get stuck in. Let's have a look. So there's that rotary engine. It has got a few bits missing, as you can see. Definitely not a complete engine on this one today. Let's have a look. As I already said, the VM edition. It's got 110,000 kilometers, or as close as you can get. Got it from the bad auction house, and well, it is awful. It is really bad. The frame down to 1%. It is ready to fall apart. Did I get a good deal? No, not quite. Not bad, though. 14,196 is what I paid for it, and I could sell it for 12,781, losing out on 1,415. But again, not too bad, especially considering some of the things I've worked on recently. As I already said, it has been rotary swapped. It is the Rotary 13B REW twin turbo engine. Yes, this is the one from the RX-7. One of my favourites. Turbo whistle with that old rotary sound. Lovely. 279 at base horsepower on this one. We will be throwing performance parts on this. And I do have a very special livery for this one today. So, let's get stuck into this. And let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get this one cleaned up. Here we are then, at the car wash. Let's get her cleaned and see what colour this model actually is. Hopefully it doesn't already have my livery on it. It definitely shouldn't. It does not. It's in a sort of like grey, but with that red bits on the interior. That's looking pretty smart. Not what we're going with today, definitely. Let's get the interior detailed, cleaned, whatever you want to call it. We'll get it back on the lift. We'll get the engine stripped out, and we'll start getting this one stripped down. No oil pan on this one, mostly because most of that engine is missing, but we do need to get in and get some of these drive shafts out. I have made my model a four-wheel drive, so we do need to get some of them front wheel bits off first as well. Probably not that important, probably will actually work without it, but I'm going to anyway. So you can see I've got my front drive shaft going through. So we are missing a drive axle there, but we'll get the wheel off on this side and that drive axle out. There we go. Now just to grab the drive shaft, we are missing a starter, so I do need to remember to buy that one. That is one I normally forget, but out with this gearbox. And I'm going to lift the engine out, even though there's no real need for it. So let's get this one back on the ground. Let's get that engine ripped out and see what we have left in the engine bay. If I'm being honest, I don't think there's a lot in there. Anyway, let's get you out. Nicely done. Easy peasy. Let's have a look and see if we have actually got anything in here. No. We are missing absolutely everything. We've got radiators. We've got large and small intercoolers all lined up nicely looking there. Power steering reservoir, the coolant reservoir, the brake servo, ABS pump and a module, a fuel filter, air filter, the wishy-washy reservoir, and a lovely little battery up there. And I think that's all of it. Should be pretty confident it is. We are also missing the fuel tank and the fuel pump. Anywho, let's jump down as there's nothing else to clear from up here and see what we've got going on in the suspension. Now, obviously, we already know we've got a drive axle there, and missing a drive axle on the other side, and we do have that front drive shaft. So, what else have we got? We've got the hub bearing. That's good. Inner and outer tie rods are both there. This is a single shock with a one single lower suspension arm, and we do have the sway bar end link on this side. All of this is in my way. Let's jump over the other side. This side, we're missing the pads, the brake pads, and the little nutty bit that goes inside it as well, plus the lower suspension arms and the bushings to go with it. Obviously, we already knew about the drive axle. Do have the sway bar end link, and we do have that bushing. And do we have bushing? Bearing is what I meant to say. And are we missing any of the rubber bushings on the front there? No, we have all of them. So let's jump down the back. Let's get one of these rear wheels off and let's have a look. Out you come, nice and easy. So I think because both the wheels on back here will indicate that we weren't really missing anything. We've got the rubber bushings in the arms. We're missing a rubber bushing here. We've got that one. And we're missing them too. So 3 rubber bushings from the back, but we've got all of the arms by the looks of it. Yes, all of the suspension there with the shock, the sway bar end link. Not too bad at all. I'm going to go on and get all of this stripped out. Make sure I add all of the things I need to the basket. Then we are going to jump straight back into stripping this body down, getting it ready to go back together, and then heading over to the paint shop to check out my beautiful livery today. So I'll be back in just a little while. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our beautiful Toyota GT86. But we need to get all of this bodywork stripped off so we can get it all back together. We'll just start by taking these headlights out. Out you come. Off with the fender. As you can tell, there isn't much on this car. A lot of it is going to need to be replaced. Side skirts, out you come. We've got one on the other side. We have indeed. Rear right fender, off you come. The left fender was missing. One tail light. And I think that might be it, actually, if I'm being honest. That should be everything. Now, it looks like there's no interior. Now, with most models, the back seat isn't a seat in this. It's part of the interior. I have, as I said before, put mine on top of it. That was the wrong button. Just to hide a few things. Not that you'll see them now. So we'll get that one ripped out of there. Ready to go. Now, let's just check that we have got everything. Wrong screen. 1%. That's always a good sign. No, I'm missing right body window. How did I miss that one? Right in my face. There we go. Just double check it. There we go. It is all out. Let's go and grab the welder and get this frame sorted. That was very much down to 1%. I didn't pay much for this car. 1,400-ish. Around there, I think. I'm going to say... It's quite a lot of damage. I'm going to say 1,800. 1,000. Still bad at that, but never mind. We've seen this shop many times before, but I am just going to quickly show you guys again. Lots of different stuff to go in here. Lots of different spoiler options, side skirt options. There are loads of them. Bumpers. Obviously, you've got the BRZ, the GT86, and the FRS. Although I'm building the GT86, I'm not going for the GT86 bumper. I am going for a different one. Lots of side skirt. Fender options is what I was meant to say, but I had side skirts in my head. Lots of fender options, door options. We will be going for the GT86 doors, though. I will tell you that. Hood options, this one is a cool one. I'll probably be going for Hood B on this one today. Headlight options, there is lots going on this one. Lit has done an absolutely fantastic job. And everything is labelled, even the windscreen. That's the BRZ one. That fits the GT86 and the FRS. For body lines, I'm assuming, I don't really know. This, I will be using the trunk for the GT86. I've been looking forward to that for a long time. Lit has fixed the livery issue. So before, if you put liveries on it, this was the only one that lined up with liveries. Now, they all should do. I'm not sure if they actually do. I've only tested the GT86. I know that one works. So theoretically, they should all now. He has said it is fixed. So thank you very much, Lit. Well done. Thank you for that. I very much appreciate it. That's this one all ready to go, though. I need to get some stuff prepared, some stuff bought, get this one all back together. Ready to head over to the paint shop so you guys can check out the livery I've gone for this one today. It is time to get our Rotary swapped GT86 all back together. Let's just crack on. So for the hood, it is Hood B there with the grille in it, looking pretty smart. For the front bumper, big smiley one at bumper F, looking awesome. And then obviously the GT86 headlights tinted, in you go, looking good. Fenders, GT86 fenders on there as well, fantastic. And then GT86 doors as well. Let's get the windscreen in. That was GT86. Mirrors on, just the one type of mirror on there as well. On you go. Side skirts, I went for number C, letter C, number C, whatever you want to say there. Pretty good. And then for the fenders, just kept it on the stock ones. Didn't want to go wide body on this. In with the rear window, and then obviously you can see there the Toyota GT86 trunk going in now. We've got the rear bumper, which is the lit body kit one to match the front. In with the tail lights, just some fancy looking ones I liked. In with the big old Rocket Bunny spoiler, because I do like that one. Let's just get the other side all matched up, ready to go. On you go, on you go, in you go. In you go, and on you go. We'll get that license plate on now. I've just gone for my classic virtual mechanic plates with a Rotary 86, being that this is a GT86. Pretty sweet. Into the interior, on we go, and then we'll check we've got everything. So I do have a bench seat in there. It is a Porsche 991 bench seat. It just fit well enough to cover things that I needed. Seats I've swapped to my 370Zs, obviously, because I love these Nismo seats. And for the steering wheel, I've gone for steering wheel 17 on this one. Looking pretty cool. If we go back into normal mode, you can see it doesn't affect it too bad in them rear seats. You do still have some of that red interior showing up through there. It doesn't block it out. Looking pretty cool. I think that's everything. Let's just give it a double check. That is the wrong screen. 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. Let's get over to the paint shop and see what I've done with this custom livery today. Here she is then, the stunning half and half, almost completely black on one side, almost completely metallic orange on the other side. Obviously, it is a metallic black as well. And then we've got the Toyota GT86 down the hood, rotary powered, as it does have a rotary engine in there. I say does, it will have a rotary engine in there a little bit later on. Looking at pretty cool. I'm very pleased with this one. It looks awesome. Just some finishing touches. We've got an orange mirror on this side and a black mirror on this side. Looking pretty good. And then the final finishing touches to this bodywork. We have a black hood scoop on this side and an orange hood scoop on this side. Looking pretty cool. I am very, very pleased with this one. It is looking great. I've got some other bits to paint. Obviously, the engine, black and orange. Suspension, black and orange. You know how this is going to turn out. But not directly how this is going to turn out. So I've got some bits to paint. We'll get it back on the lift and we'll start getting all of this a beautiful Toyota GT86 back together. Hopefully, this one's going to be awesome. That's everything painted, ready to go back on the GT86. Let's just get these shocks together. Now, I've gone for an orange shock this time with a black spring. Quite pleased with that. That looks like metallic. I think the rest of it is pearl underneath, I think. I've only just done it and I can't remember. But let's jump in and have a look. I've got lots of the unpainted stuff already in. The only thing I've got to do is get all of these intercoolers in around here. A large intercooler and 2 mediums, just for a bit of extra power and a bit of extra cooling on this rotary engine. So let's go front suspension cross member in that orange, because the engine bay is very, very black, so that will stand out a little bit in there. Hopefully going to look pretty sweet. On you go, on you go. Now, with it being half and half, hopefully everything's proportioned well. We've got black lower suspension arms here, looking good. And then obviously you've got the orange shocks with the black springs. You can just about see the springs through there. Not too clearly though. We get the sway bar end link on while we're here. On you go. And then sadly I had to do the calipers in black because, well, they didn't take the orange at all. Get the drive axle on, and that is the front end pretty much complete. There we go, or one side of it at least, in a very black and orange combination, looking pretty sweet. Let's jump down the back and see what we've got going on down here. Now, I do have to do something real quick just so that you guys are going to see it anyway. I've put the Pagani exhaust on here, or the Huayra exhaust on here, coming through. You can just see the bumper outline there. In fact, I'll come out and we'll walk down the back. Comes through that beautiful cutout in the back there. Looking pretty sweet, but back onto this suspension anyway. Rear cross member in the black, alternating to the orange from the front. Let's get the sway bar link in, or sway bar in. These rubber bushings in, and then we'll carry on with the rest of these arms. On you go, along with that sway bar end link. And that drive axle as well there. In you go. There's someone revving their car outside. Rear suspension arm, I've done this one in the black, because I will show you now, the spring cap is in the orange. Nice. And then obviously the spring in the black, matching the springs at the front, looking pretty sweet. The upper suspension arm in the orange, because we're doing alternating colors, and I think it looks pretty cool. And then the lower arm down here in that black, again with the alternating colors. And then what do you reckon the color of this one sticking out the side is? You guessed it, it is orange. Looking awesome. We'll get the rubber bushing in there as well. On you go. And then we've also got the shock itself in orange to match the shock at the front. And then the brake caliper in the black. There it is. Looking pretty sweet. And that's going to be the extent of it. Both sides looking pretty awesome with plenty of black, plenty of orange. This is going to look so cool. I cannot wait to get this one finished. Let's carry on around though. I'm going to get the fuel tank in, get all the pump in, and then we'll move on to that engine bay. Black and orange. What a combination. I think it looks absolutely incredible. Again, so pleased with this one so far. It is looking fantastic. But let's jump on. We need to get this engine bay sorted. But just before I do that, I want to jump down here and get that last bit of exhaust in the rear there. We'll have a look at that in a moment. And also, to get these to line up, I did a few... Oh, I have to do that underneath. We'll come back to that one. As you can see, there is 2 different arms on there. One looping up and around and then back down in, just to make it fit so that it looked like it was one piece. obviously, because we have the one-piece front section, which will be finished when the engine is in there. But let's crack on. Let's get this engine bay all sorted out. So the ABS pump, in you go, along with the ABS module on top. Nicely done. In you go. Then we've got the brake servo moving on around. Battery in there. Move back around to the front. We've got the coolant reservoir, the power steering reservoir, the radiator. In you go. I missed it. And it's fan housing kit to go with. There we go. We've got the wishy-washy reservoir. And then the last piece to go in here before the engine, we've got the air filter in an orange. Then we've got the air filter itself and then the cover in orange. And then I've also got a little splash of white on the clips because I kind of didn't want to do them black because the rest of the engine bay was black and I didn't want it to be too much. That's that all sorted. I'm going to crack on. I'll get that bit of exhaust fixed up and we'll take a look at it when we come to throw the gearbox in later. Then we're going to go build this beautiful rotary engine. Well, here we are then. Time to put together this turbo rotary engine. Let's get started. I'm going to start with the floating fuel filter. In you go. Then we got the intermediate housing is in that orange. It's not the same orange. It is a pearl orange as I've used for most of the underneath. It is a little bit darker on the actual main part of the block. In goes the crankshaft, and then we got the rotor housings on either side, both of them in black to follow on with my sort of stripy black detailness. In with the rotors, both front and back. On you go, on you go. Then we'll stick down here. We got the rotor side housing in the orange, looking sweet. And then at the front there, also in the orange, looking pretty cool. We've got crankshaft, counterweight, and the sprocket on there. And then a lovely little chain just to go on for good measure. The water pump itself, I've done that one in a black just to sort of keep in with that theme. And it is looking pretty good. Very pleased with that. And then the timing cover at the front there in a slightly brighter orange. It's the same orange as you can see with this piece up here. It is the same orange. It just shows a little bit darker, a little bit duller on the block, but I don't mind it too much. Oil pan in that black just to keep up with the theme. It is looking pretty sweet. It's a tiger stripe engine. Like it. Didn't think of that before. In with these spark plugs. On you go, on you go, on you go, and in you go. Looking good. And we got one of the arms bolted in, and then the other arm just down here bolted in. On you go. Looking good. Then roller, in you go, on you go. Then we got the power steering pump. I didn't paint it because there are a few chrome pieces such as this alternator up here. In you go. And then down here we got some more rollers. And then the crankshaft pulley, which I couldn't seem to click on for the moment there. Timing belt or serpentine belt, in you go with another roller. And then another belt. There it is. Another belt there. And then another roller or two maybe. Is it two or just the one? Just the one roller. I think there is another one. I'm not sure. I'm lost now, confused. Oil filter, done that one in black. Looking pretty sweet. I suppose we best get this clutch set up all in while we're here as well, so I don't forget it. On you go. On you go. Nice. Get you all bolted up. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. And then the clutch release bearing there as well. On the top here, the ignition coil. Done that one in black just because it looks quite good. And then the cables or the ignition wires in the orange, looking sweet. Moving over to the side, the exhaust manifold is in that performance part chrome. As I say, more of the chrome elements, and the turbocharger is also in that chrome, just with a splash of red in there that you can't help, but it matches the fuel filter, so it doesn't matter. Intake manifold in the orange. Yes, it is. Loving that. That matches the front plate there and sort of a few of the little bits that poke out. Fuel rail in the black. Also looking cool. And then we've got the manifold on top, matching the orange. It's going to have a big orange splash going over the top with a black throttle sitting on the end of it. That is it. I love this engine. It's such a quick build, and you can do so much with it color-wise. That is looking absolutely awesome. The tiger striped rotary engine. So, so cool. I'm going to grab some pictures, and then we'll get it dropped in the Toyota. It has just started thunder and lightning outside. I do apologise if you can hear that. Hopefully not too badly. But let's get this beautiful rotary engine off of here and dropped into our half and half Toyota. In you go. Let's have a look. Hopefully this is going to look so good. I'm hoping it will. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Oh, yes. Very, very pleased with that. That is looking incredible. Absolutely fantastic. Let's get it up in the air. I'll show you the last bits of the exhaust that went in. We'll get the gearbox, drive shaft, and the starter in. Then I'll get the wheels done, and we'll be outside in the sun. So let's crack on. Oh, so you've got a front exhaust section as well, which I don't have. I don't believe it. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Let's go and buy that very quickly. Oh, we're already in the tuning shop. Fantastic. Let's grab you. There we go. And there we go. Now we can carry on. In you go there. A couple of times I've missed some bits now. Not very often though. So anyway, on with the gearbox. I have done it in black. The last section is orange on there, so it does fit with our alternating theme. Oh, starters on this side. Throw the starter in the orange as well there for good measure. Drive shaft in, then I'm going to get the wheels done, and then we'll have a full look when we're outside in the sun. Here we are then, all finished with the stunning GT86, and I'm going to apologise if my game's a little jumpy. Literally, since that thunderstorm started, I have been jumping around trying to get things done, but it seems to have eased off a bit now. The jumping, that is, not the thunderstorm. That is still raging quite strong outside. But anyway, this one looks fantastic. Excellent job by Lit. Obviously, I've made a few adjustments. This is a lot lower than the base model, and it's got that beautiful Pagani exhaust on there, looking fantastic. I will just jump in quickly because I didn't show you earlier what I did with the loop. There it is. Just looped in so it fits in. As you can see, it does connect in. You can't see any pokey outy parts. It's not the best job in the world, and it does kind of intrude into the bodywork a bit, but I wanted it to be connected, so I made it connected. Was a struggle to find pieces that fit. Obviously, that's a totally different size to that, so, you know, bit bizarre, but it looks awesome. I am very, very pleased with it. And the Toyota trunk works with liveries. That is the thing I'm most so excited about. I've waited, put this video off for so long because I wanted that to work, and now it does. Fantastic. Excellent job, Lit. Well done. And once again, thank you for sorting the trunks out so that we could get some cool liveries on these today. What do you think of this? I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm probably one of the favourite cars and liveries that I have made myself. Nothing will beat this because this just looks insane. And there's a rusted one that goes with it, which I will put on at some point. Maybe when we get to 250 subscribers, that'll be one of the trucks I do, or one of the cars I show, all of the ones I've kept. So it would be there anyway, but maybe we'll change the livery to the rusted out one, just to make it look like it's been out here too long and it's survived the thunderstorm that I'm currently going through. Anyway, onto these rims. These are the rims 2A, two-tone. As you see, they're black in and around there, with then the white painted rim on the outside. It is looking absolutely fantastic. They are 21 inches, 195 width, and a 30 profile. The fronts are set back a little bit just so you can get a bit of turning radius so that you can still turn for photos and driving without it clipping too much. The backs are exactly the same size. Is that clipping through there? Is that clipping through? That is clipping through. Oh no. Oh well. Bit late now. That is a shame. Ever so slightly just clipping through there. That didn't do that before. Wonder if it's the same on the other side. Maybe I just checked the... Oh, you can't share the other side. Oh, it does a little bit. That is a shame. It's only a tiny little bit, so I'm going to pretend that it doesn't happen and I'm going to ignore it. Same size rims, though. 21 inch, 195 width, and a 30 profile. I really do love this. I think it looks great. The old half and half, orange on one side, black on the other, with alternating parts a little bit with the mirror and the hood scoop there. Just alternating through. But let's jump in this one and see what she sounds like. We already know it is the twin turbo rotary, so it's going to sound insane, but let's get her started nonetheless. Also, red detailing on the livery, on the interior. Absolutely love that. Anyway, start her up. Well, there it is. You can hear the little, just a slight little pop in that tick over there, but let's give it some gas. And then you get that turbo whistle at the top end. I love the sound of this. But we need to get this one onto the dyno and see what horsepower it's got today. Here we are then on the dyno with the rotary swapped Toyota GT86 Virtual Mechanic Edition. 279 base horsepower from that twin turbo rotary. How much have we added today? Let's have a look. That is a gain of 229 horsepower, 82%, pretty good, bringing us up to 507 horsepower. Now this one is a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, whatever you want to call it, and it does have slicks, so it should do all right on the track. But let's check out the gearbox tuning setup for today. There she is in all her glory. 7 gears, didn't want to go over the top of this one, a 3.01 ratio. 75 in first, up to 501 in 7th. Pretty good. Let's see what it'll actually get to on the track. Here we are then on the speed track with the rotary swapped Toyota GT86, and it's now a 507 horsepower engine. What will we get out of this one today? Let's jump in and let's find out. Let's go. Off we go. A little bit slow at the very beginning, but then it really gets the power down onto them four-wheel drive. All four wheels gaining it. Look at that. Heading towards the 250 mark. There it is. Where will we finish up? If we can get to 350, I'll be very happy. Whether we will get there or not is a different story, although we are still going. Come on, little Toyota, you can do it. There's 350. I'm a happy man now. Whatever we get on top of this is good. Let's go. Where are we going to get? 369 apparently. Nice, but it did tick over to 370, so we will mark it down as 370. So 370 kilometers an hour from the rotary swapped Toyota GT86. Pretty good. Pits it 72nd in our speederboard. And I love this half and half livery. This is the half and half. It looks absolutely insane. Very, very pleased with this one. Excellent job to Lit. Again, well done. Link in the description below to the actual mod for this car. If you want to make your own variants, you do need to sort of know what you're doing a little bit, so I won't bother talking you through that, just to be on the safe side. This is my own variant. It looks absolutely insane, and I am very, very pleased with this. Although we won't be selling it today, we will be talking about a few facts and figures. For example, I bought the car for 14,196 and losing out on money by 1,415 from the beginning, and I've since spent another 49,980 getting this one to look as good as it does, especially that little Pagani exhaust poking out through the quad holes there, looking so good. Very impressed with that. I really do love this one. As I say, we definitely aren't selling it, but our total spend is 64,176, and if we were to sell it, would we make a profit? Let's jump in. Let's find out. It is obviously the Virtual Mechanic Edition Toyota GT86. Ignore that. I mean, that is the mod name. So if you want to find the mod, that's how you find it. There's 3 variants. The Toyota GT86, the Subaru BRZ, and the Scion FRS. And I still don't know if I'm saying Scion correctly, but it doesn't matter. Just under 110,000 kilometers. I added barely anything to this one today. That 4-wheel drive was so easy. We did get a bit more out of that engine, though, up to 507 horsepower, a gain of 82%, which is absolutely incredible. But the real question is, can we make a profit? Yes, and quite a bit by the looks of that. A sale price of 114,192. If we were to sell it, we would make 50,016 profit. But we are definitely not selling this one. Quick close that window before I press the wrong button. This one is way too cool to sell. I'll be keeping this one here. Well, it's going to have to go in parking. I don't know whether to swap it with Delilah in there or something like that. This can't go, but I do love this one. This is absolutely insane. But for the minute, it will have to be dropped into parking. That is it for this one, though. Let's jump in and see what we have up next. We have another paint mod here. This is the Plymouth Roadrunner. I have done the Roadrunner before, but this is the Dom Toretto edition. Looking absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to getting stuck into this one when we come to it. This will be for Friday. Now, if you wanted to enter the competition after watching this video, you only have a couple of hours. It does close at midnight tonight on today, Wednesday. So if it's later, if it's now Thursday and you watch this video, it is too late to enter, but it's not too late to go in and vote for your favorite. Mine will be in there. There's some pretty awesome ones in there. This is going to be a very hard competition this time, but it is still looking awesome. So if you want to jump in and give me a vote, give anyone a vote, any of the cars that you like, they're all pretty awesome. This is going to be a fun one. Thank you so much for watching for today's video. I do hope you did enjoy it. Please consider hitting that subscribe button if you did. Trying to get up to 250 subscribers so we can go back through some of my older cars. For example, Delilah here, which may be going into the parking for the time being. Thunder's back to get me again. Or the Toyota GT86, or, you know, even that truck. I've got plenty more in parking to play around with. But that's it for today. This is going to be for next time. Thank you so much for watching again. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are in the world. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.